Just give me a moment to throw the link around, and I'll get this party started. I apologize for all the delays. I know Sylvan has limited time tonight, but it is how it is.
Oh, good.
Yes. This week has not been kind on the coast. I still need to figure out how the fuck to fix my goddamn ping so Wuthering Waves doesn't lag like hell when I stream it. It's going to be annoying because internet bullshit always is annoying, but yay.
But yeah, just remember, we will weaponize your mechanics too.
I know you fuckers well. I know how you fuckers work. But that's why.
Weaponizing those mechanics is not going to be easy because we do not have that specific counterpart to it. And I do mean post-purified shit.
You're live now. Oh, point it out. Okay, there's some of the gremlin watchers. Sorry, this week has just been a week. Okay, so
Yes.
okay, let me just double check on Twitch to make sure the stream is actually streaming because it would be just my luck this week. Okay. Uh, okay, looks like everything is working. Hello, everyone. I'm ArkosDawn, your wonderful GM, the coast that does the most. Uh, with me tonight, I have Lucine, the biggest pain in my ass, played by Iridium Sky.
No comment.
Yeah. Ashley, our local NG slash mech enthusiast, slash he's fucking suplex dragons in that damn thing. Kirov, our local FPS protagonist who has funny soundboards and keeps shooting dragons to death with completely normal guns, played by Atomic Taco, aka Mon. Mon, you know what to do now.
Yeah, just hold on. I'm having a.
There we go. And last but not least, Sion Orin, our resident Dark Mage slash Succubus, played by Sylvan Eldar.
As always, good to see you.
Yeah,
Metaphorically.
yep. So Io is not here for tonight. Mio has IRL stuff going on, and I think you said you're going to be leaving early to Sess, right, Sion?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me just get into the action then. Where we left off, you fuckers were still on the boat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Moving back to the
We're
boat.
heading back.
Yeah, I'll just I'll just off screen this. You clamber back up onto the desk. Arata is just Arata is just grabbing some of the ropes the dragons had lying on about and using them to just very carefully drag the animated infrastructure you guys fucking kidnapped up onto the up onto the deck as you see a couple self-defense force helicopters buzz your way.
Yep.
Kenji's voice comes out from the radio. Mission success, and we've managed to get a good chunk of useful access. Well, give me a second words. Good chunk of useful data points with those fuck it warp corals works with those warp corals. Uh, let me check what the IC date is again. Give me a moment. Pull up my mountain of notes. Pull up.
Co-sprain moment.
Yes. It is currently the 15th. It's currently the 15th, I think. Let me double check. Give me a second. I'm just double checking everything because I'm paranoid. You know how it is. No, it's the 16th now. Okay, that sits missing on this 16th. Okay, so as the helicopters land in the south, this self-defense force members who were protect the people of Kyoto just roll out, make sure the ship is well indeed truly cleared. Kenji just takes a deep breath. You're all good to head back down. Head back to Kyoto now. At that, I'm just going to move you all over to Kyoto. We're going to push Io off screen at this point and say some wrong Kyoto map. There we go, under Kyoto. Push Io off screen at this point and say something happened back at base that needed an extra hand for healing, so she got called back for a little bit. So let me just stuff her into the GM layer. But soon, Tearsing Squadron plus Arata, find yourselves back in front of the waiting room for Kenji's office. The Tengu tips his hat to all of you as he takes a seat, just smiling to himself and shaking his head. Ah, man, you lot really are something else.
If you think this is bad, you're probably gonna not like the plan I figured out.
Ashley will look at Lucine with a very worried glance.
Glance, not gland.
I
Arata's
believe
gonna.
I said a glance, but might have
I
mispicked up.
heard words. They suck.
Whatever.
So Arata's going to
Oh
tilt it.
boy, tell the class what crazy idea you have this time.
Finish debrief, then we do that. Otherwise,
After it,
someone is going to get annoyed. I don't know, probably Kenji.
Kenny's a pretty easygoing guy when he's not working himself up into a nervous frenzy. I'm sure it'll be fine. Fine, Arata says, waving a hand dismissively before the big old doors to Kenji's office open up and Sakura walks out. The acting president is free to see you now. I just had to talk to him about something. You don't need to worry about it right now. At that, he just very calmly walks off.
Who did he need to talk to about something?
Sakura. Priestess of Susanna, the lady in charge of the
Did she?
wards, the lady who was Oda Heim's caretaker before she went Arc Dragon.
Yeah, I just didn't physically hear. Could you actually stay? I think you might be important.
Hmm? Leone Priestess tilts her head to you, gaze flicked downwards because she's the tallest person in the goddamn room. How
Well,
important? I have something I need to work on very quickly.
This can wait then.
Thank you. Arata,
It's not like this is plans to deal with her to properly deal with.
l-
Got him.
let me talk, please. As she calls Arata's name, the Tengu stands up and does a salute. Yes, Lady Sakura? The old coot. She says the nickname in a way that says he's not really fond of it. Should be at his shop now, right? Yeah, well, I'm going to need his help, so give me him. So I'll be busy for the next. Hmm, I believe I will be busy for the next 2 days until after Kenji's speech. I'm afraid.
Uh, there's some. Then in that case, it may make sense to do because oh there was some minor stuff, but mostly for planning. For the plan I've got, we do need you.
She's going to very calmly point a finger at you. I am willing to help, however much is needed within relative reason. If I was if I was against putting my life on the line, I would not be where I am today. Now, if you excuse
It's
me,
not simply that, but okay. And we will have to leave the. But yes.
no,
It is stuff that needs your input in the planning phase for a few reasons, but I guess we will simply have to back off.
she's going to cut you off with a sigh, and I need to get the wizard and make sure we patch up the wars to try and limit that ley line and bullshit as best we can before before these cultists get any smart ideas about using it to pull something.
Just cover the ley
Yeah,
lines
no.
and landmines.
We don't have enough landmines.
Does it work like that?
The landlines do pass under like think of it as like a river of energy.
Mm-hmm.
They can only pop out where that river of energy is, so you could in theory cover the entire entrance area of landmines. They don't have enough
Okay.
landmines.
I
Get
mean, we did
spawn
hand them the
camped.
whatever. Anyway, all right, you go do that. We'll handle this later.
No, no,
Who seems
sorry.
a bit dejected because it seems like she wanted to talk for some reason, but understands it.
As Sakura walks off, the priestess sighs. Again, you have my permission to do basically anything not indecent. These are desperate times, after all, despite how much of a measure of hope you may provide to us. If I cared about politeness, I would not be a priestess of Suzano. At that, she walks off.
I mean, still has to wait because I need
Kenji's
her feedback on whether it's a key
You
component
know,
will
I
work.
think you can be blunt with her.
the point is she's busy and doesn't mind you guys planning without her as long as you fill her in. And later, you don't have to do the plan immediately after the speech. I will point
She
that out.
needs Sakura's ability. What Lucina is saying is she needs Sakura's personal experience to check that something will work the way she thinks it will, because we're relying on personality of Oda and Orochi.
And I have a way to cover that during the meeting, please, during the later parts of the planning. Trust me on this, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
So, at that, Kenji's voice rings out. The frankly young man for such a position sounds tired, but stressed, but well. Come in, Tearfing Squadron, and you too, Arata. Hey, Azal, glad you can make it. It's fine. Today's probably going to be a pretty RP heavy session anyway, so it's fine. Kenji's office is a little bit cleaner than before. He's got more of the paperwork put in the neat piles, all that. So, he pushes his glasses up as he looks you all over. We managed to not only clear the ship, but capture it, which, well, I'm going to be blunt, this is frankly invaluable. Especially combined with those free corals you brought with you.
Yep.
Right now, I'm having some of the self-defense force members, mainly the more yokai heavy units, guard them, just in case something happens, so they can shut them down in case something. I don't need to explain this in detail. You all know what you're doing. At that, he's going to lean over and clap his hands. So, with so most of the feedback I've gotten points to the civilian populace of Kyoto, the people I answer to, being willing to ally with Ascalon as long as there's proof you can actually help. This acts as, this, as I planned, acts as clear proof that you can actually help. LP says, smiling a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, before my speech in two
Yeah,
days, no, you go first.
yeah, I guess with the total communications breakdown across the world, it's a bit.
Your internet just cut out again,
A
Mon.
lot.
Oh, God damn it.
If
Yeah,
you,
I guess with the whole communication breakdown, we can't really point to the other stuff we've done with the other two Arc Dragons.
not that we can circulate the footage if I footage, but that's a matter for later. He shakes his hand. So, first question. He stops us trying to figure out the phrases. You do you have permission? So first, let me just. He walks over to the big radio setup you guys have set up so he can actually get in touch with your bosses. It crackles it crackles to life, and let me roll a 1d4 to see who's gonna be the first person on the comms right now. Give me a second. Okay, it's gonna be Michigan. You hear Commander Michigan's gruff voice come over the radio. Coming in loud and clear, Kyoto. Everything all right? Kenji, Kenji sighs. Ah, yes, the mission was a success. I simply wanted to ask if, well, do I need one of your leaders here for discussing the details of our alliance, or are Tierfing squad or is Tierfing Squadron good enough to act for that? To act in place of you? I'm not entirely sure on the exact details of your organizational structure yet. You can hear the sound of Miskin tapping his fingers for a second considering something. Hmm. Tierfing Squadron, you have my permission to negotiate. However, I have final veto over anything. Besides that, however, simply pretend I'm not here. I will just be listening. There is a developing situation back at base, not one that needs all of you back here yet, but it does need my attention.
Understood.
Oh
Figure
god,
that
what did the grunts do this time?
One one of the squadrons got ambushed by a dragon. He stops for a second, clearly considering his wording. Remember the blood-sucking bastard that ran away from you lot?
You mean
Oh,
across
that
the ocean?
cheeky fuck.
Ah, yes,
Ah,
he appears to have flown across the Atlantic and Atlantic, ambushed the squadron, wounded some of them, made off of a handful, and we're trying to figure out where his lair is. I don't think we'll need Team Squadron back to deal with this, however, but that might change. Focus on your current mission for now.
Understood. Yes, sir.
gotcha.
Kenji's gonna nod at that.
Roger Dodger.
So, Team Squadron. The people of Kyoto are going. I am willing to have the self-defense force assist you, assist you with slaying, subduing, however we are going to be defeating Odaheim no Orochi. In addition, I have no problem. I have no problem donating at least some of our resources and forces to your goal of fighting off the dragon, your goal of taking back the entire planet. It's one I can agree with easily, after all. What I
Sounds like a
want,
plan.
I, however, I do want some things in return.
All right.
First, you have my brother, and you have several other engineers who seem to be on the same rough level as him. As such, I would like to request assistance from Ascalon's engineering corps to assist the Japanese self-defense force in conducting reinforcements on Kyoto and the area around it to better protect us against a large-scale draconic peak assault. Once Odaheim no Orochi goes
Alrighty.
down, that's one less Arc Dragon in the theater for the others to deal with, which means it's going to be easier for them to try something. I want to be prepared ahead of time.
That should
Understood.
be. I cannot imagine that's an issue. You've already provided us with a large amount of magical defensive information and sharing. This is just the same thing in return.
He nods, he nods. Ah, yes, but it's good to formalize this kind of thing. Besides, besides that, you have a Dracopocalypse, correct?
We do. I am his. Well, at this point, not sure if we have two or one because I've been his apprentice for a bit, but I'm not. I'm still unsure how much I do or don't know.
Okay, out of character moment here. You've been training under Alexander for a couple months. Alexander has put years of his life into this.
Yep.
He knows more than you.
This Oh yeah. As I said, I wasn't sure if we have one or two. I didn't say they were equal.
That is fair.
Can you repeat that? My internet hiccuped.
Which bit? Which bit?
After the bit about lending the engineers.
He,
They were asking about if we had a Dracologist.
yes.
Lucine was saying we may or may we have one. We may or may not have two, depending how you count me.
Kenji's going to note that. Yes, good. We would like.
Yeah, but also, with the engineers, didn't we have that whole vetting issue right now?
Can you repeat that? Oh, vetting.
Yes.
Yes, you do have that little issue. Let's issue, but you can just not send Sophia here.
Yeah,
If you're
just making sure
if you don't
everyone
trust her,
remembers that.
if you don't trust someone, you can
Yeah.
just not send them here. Kenji notes. Yes. The reason I'm asking is relatively simple. Japan used to have a I'm not sure if university is the right word, but it's the closest term that comes to mind of them. They were founded, according to Lady Sakura, they were founded by Susanoo and his siblings after Ryujin's death in order to consolidate more information on the dragons in case another draconic assault on the land happens. Unfortunately, when Christian missionaries arrived in Japan was forcibly opened up and all that occurred. Guess what the hidden side of the Catholic Church said? He said, grumbling.
Oh, joy. You're all
They
just face palms.
they burned the they burned the academy to the ground and attempted to kill as many of the scholars as they could. They didn't kill all of them, but the amount of institutional damage done was immense, and well, the new base was in Tokyo. I don't think I need to explain what happened to them on Emergence Day.
You do not.
Mm-hmm. In place of EO, fuck the church. Yes, yes, but the church claimed they were doing it because that knowledge is forbidden knowledge that endangers the populace. But I don't think sticking our heads in the sand did anything to help us here. Help us nowadays. Anyways, I would like, if it is not an issue, I would like copies of your less sensitive Dracological data just so we have more information to work with.
Are any of yours? Did any of yours happen to be outside of Tokyo or make it out?
No, no. No, uh, no, all of them were gathered in the academy on Emergence Day. They some sort of emergency meeting. Then Odaheim turned, and Tokyo was wiped out in a matter of minutes as he marched into the sea.
Well, once EO's back, we may want to commune with them if they're still around. But
He going,
I,
Kenji's going to sigh. If they're still around, they're probably among the Targos. I have my suspicions on how Odaheim is getting those, just based on what Sakura has told me and from what I understand of history.
regardless, as long as Alexander has no issue with sharing his notes, I think it's a perfectly good idea.
He nods at that.
Certainly planning to share anything I find.
Good, that's good. Okay, any other concerns? He says, mumbling to himself. Okay, one last. I do have one more condition actually for the Alliance, one that might be a little bit more troublesome. He says, it is my understanding that you are currently engaged in a temporary Seiki truce with one of the Arc Dragons.
Truce is stretching it, more like Cold War.
He nods. I see. My request is simple. Just give me a moment to put this in the best wording. Do not get complacent with the dragon, and please give us, if anything happens on that front, please let us know.
Mm-hmm.
From
Out of
what
character.
you've told me, they're the only Arc Dragon remaining in the Americas, yes?
That would be correct.
He's going to gesture direct vaguely towards the sea. You've seen when Odaheim was able to pull off with nigh uncontested control over the Pacific Ocean. I suggest we.
I did.
He's going to let you talk.
The bomb we got for the flagship, I originally asked to find it in an attempt to drive her away from us. We decided it did not make enough sense, but yes, I am certainly not going to get complacent.
Understandable. Oh.
Wants to get that fight.
So, Kitty's going to clap hands. Very good. Good. That's to be everything, all the basics for Alliance. Then now it's the meat of things. I'm going to suggest. I'm going to suggest we get the planning for dealing with Odaheim done now. Now, do you need anything else? Anything for it?
The reason I needed Sakura is simple. The best way to deal with an Arc Dragon is to make sure they're fighting on your terms. Which means we need bait they can't afford to lose. My best guess is that Sakura could potentially be that bait.
He's going to sigh.
I hate that you have a point.
Does that have to do with how you dealt with the other two?
Against Conquest, I was the bait. He was an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
And then against Strength, we pissed him off enough that he stormed towards the Vatican, and we were able to intercept him at a pre-prepared location.
I see. Makes sense. He's going to stop for a moment and hum. So, to be blunt, I don't think Sakura is going to object. She has been.
Not a question of whether she'll object. It's does she think that's enough to bait out specifically the flagship? Satellite info says it's faster, but we still need to make sure the bait is important enough to bait her out.
Yes, we do believe. I do think so. He's upset. Odaheim. Well, Odaheim is roughly your age before she turned. Actually, he says from what Lady Sakura told me. But Lady Sakura was practically her adoptive mother.
You want to turn her?
Yes, if given the chance, that there was I have little doubt she would come to attempt to do the deed herself. The problem would be keeping her from bringing some of the other ships with her as an escort fleet, and boarding the giant radioactive
Simple.
monstrosity.
So, the way to ensure she doesn't bring others with is to make an opportunity that she cannot pass up and cannot get to in time if she slows down for her fleet.
Kenji frowns.
Which is why
The timing to do something like that would be extremely tight.
it is. Conveniently, you handed me a perfect. You just handed us exactly the cover we needed.
Oh,
Tokyo Bay. Very inland and can be used well for our purposes. And you just gave us a reason to justify seemingly going down to Tokyo, which would be seeing if there's anything left in the academy.
he tilts his head on that, considering it. That is a good point. That is a good
Obviously,
point.
we're not actually expecting to find anything, but if she sees Sakura and Turfing Squad go down to Tokyo, she will probably assume that the flagship will be enough.
As for the radioactive warship itself, I do have a couple of ideas.
Oh?
Well, first up, we have the bomb. We have that bomb we got. Second up, Lucien grabs a map, finds the tactical map of the world, and points to Italy.
Ashley is going to
USA
raise her eyebrow.
The USA kept fleets in. Being the USA, they A, had the best ships, B, kept fleets all around the world. Notably, before Emergence Day, one was stationed in Naples, right near Rome, right near territory we have reliable access to. I've been running the numbers, and I think it's going to take a lot out of me, but I'm pretty sure I can quite literally I could manage to animate some dead warships, and then. So the plan basically boils down to, we bait her into Tokyo, then we have a pre-prepared, then we fire the bomb at her, because she's not going to be expecting supersonic missile, then, using a pre-prepared ritual circle to teleport on demand rather than needing the full time, we teleport the pre-prepared risen ships in around her, have them start shelling, while we, probably using Ashley's help, launch ourselves onto her ship and take it down that way.
He nods. There is one issue with that. Give me a moment to try to bring up the exact numbers, but that abomination has almost. Let me check Google something. God damn it, my internet is eating shit again. Stop doing that, internet. There we go. But that monstrosity has, we believe, 95 ships worth of 95 ships worth of guns on it.
The thermobaric bomb is for, but we don't have a pretty solution. We have a solution we think will work.
He nods. Fair. I'm simply worried about the. Let me go first. I am simply worried about the ability of whatever ships you bring to withstand such a, well, to be blunt, devastating bombardment from effectively point-blank range.
I am hoping the answer is this is definitely requiring.
Oh, that's just step one.
Well, yes, we're going for the wet. The hope is that the thermobarics take out a lot of the weapons, making it a fairer fight, and also just cause enough chaos. And also, the whole thing causes enough chaos for our ships to take out more of the weapons at point blank range.
It's sucking on tactics, then I assume.
It is very much a gamble, but one I see no better solution to.
I don't like it. I don't like how risky it is, but you do have a point there. Before this, our best idea for how to deal with this ship was, well, our ship was to make an exodus into Tokyo, more specifically to the Imperial Palace. Hope the let me just Google the proper term. Give me a second. Hope the three sacred treasures were there in intact enough condition, and try to use those for some sort of purification rite to destabilize the ship. The problem is very simple. Well, that is very simple. The palace has kind of turned into a death trap.
As one does.
No,
Is it? I mean, is it under a specific? But it's not under a specific dragon's territory, right?
no, it's much simpler. It's much simpler. The wards protect the Lady Amaterasu supposedly put wards on the palace along the palace in order to protect the populace. The
Let me guess, she
ceremony,
didn't account for if the populace turns evil.
if the populace turns to dragons, yes, and more pressingly, didn't account for the draconic radiation Odaheim puts out, which, from what we've been able to determine, effectively spoofed and hijacked the word somehow, polluted them. Perhaps
Intriguing.
it's nasty. Lady Sakura, not Lady Sakura believed it was taking advantage of the sun's own radioactivity to do it, but we're not sure. What we do know is that the Imperial Palace is currently radioactive enough that if you walk into there, you'll fall over dead in roughly 5 minutes.
I'm
Huh,
still
well, that
figuring it
just
out.
gives more reason to try and grab some NBC gear.
Yes, I do think some anti-radioactivity wards are potentially possible. I need to do a little more research to determine exactly how effective I can get them, but I think they should be enough to let us fight on the ship at least. But I do have a much simpler. If we're on this three sacred treasures, has anybody tried scrying their status?
I'd be surprised if they didn't.
We did consider that option, yes. Unfortunate, Unfortunately, they have protection against that sort of thing, except from a very small list of allowed peoples, and we don't have anyone who's allowed to scry them on hand. It's to prevent someone from how did Lady Sakura put it? Scrying, grabbing, and then with teleportation magic.
I mean, you can have anti-teleport wards without scry wards, but fair enough. Though, can't say I know why she's not on that list, but fair enough. I suppose we will probably have to scrap that plan.
For now, at
Though
least,
there is one
yes.
other thing in I am distinctly planning to enchant that bomb can be a bomb is still ultimately a mundane weapon that can be effectively enchanted. It's not, and therefore we can make sure it really does fire damage, a lot more fire damage than normal, and potentially anything else that hard counters. But yes, that is the current state of the plan.
I'm not sure how effective
Actually, that gets me thinking.
you know.
If we just grab some like NBC hazmat gear, we might be able to actually hit up the palace.
Potentially,
Isn't it?
but I would
And
like
then
to.
we'll have
Hazmat
that as a
gear.
plan B for the big event.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. The issue with that is very, very simple. We don't know how else. We
Hazmat
don't
gear
know
won't.
how else the wards may manifest besides the fact that it is extremely radioactive. For all we know, if you get deep enough into the god, deep enough in the palace, you might get a face full of solar plasma.
And also, simply put, not have indestructible hazmat suits.
Not exactly. But yes, this plan does sound at least workable. Workable. I can clearly see why you have managed to get this far. Let's see. Is there anything else we need to cover right now? He snaps
Not
his
at the
fingers.
moment. We will need to
Yes,
quickly talk
yes,
to
there
the
is. He
church
snaps his
since we
fingers.
are.
He snaps his fingers. Planning for the speech. Would any of you object to being there on site during the speech?
No,
As what, security?
Security and
as a church.
security and PR.
Even after the apocalypse, some things never change.
Well, to put it bluntly,
I
Sakura is.
suppose I would not object.
Thank you. To be frank, you're allowed to bring it from AVS. I'm pretty sure bringing a mech will make the civilians like you more. No, the reason I'm asking is simple. Lady Sakura has expressed worry over the call's ability to potentially infiltrate Kyoto. We've had some of the self-defense force set up a unit on top of the generator to defend against any attacks on it from them, as well as just set up patrols around the border and a couple of hot spots we think they might try to target, but it's a lot of ground to cover. And if they were going to pull anything, it would probably be, if they're watching, they would pull, and they were going to pull something, they would pull it during the speech, I'd wager.
That makes sense to me. And then, well, I could get you set up with our full suite of protective rituals for that day. It
You
takes
know what?
more time and effort to get them. It takes more time and effort to get the full ones to get them up for permanent usage, but for a day, I can have those done in an hour or something.
Hold it off until the day of the speech then. The plan is to do it at noon our time. Hopefully that won't be a problem for you all.
No issue, and yes, I can definitely have those all up.
As Kenji nods and takes a moment to catch his breath and think, Arata's going to just very calmly elbow Kirov. Oh, I fucking hate these kind of missions. They're either boring as fuck or way too exciting in the worst way possible, and no in between.
Exactly.
Here's hoping everything goes well.
And you jinxed it, Arata says calmly.
Out of character. I mean, in character. Out of character, we already know something's happening.
Yeah, fuck up you. Yeah, because originally you guys were going to be just going straight to the speech level, but I had to adjust my planning. So, but yes, Kenji sighs.
We will probably want to make sure I'm a decent distance away from you because I'm a potential target as well.
Yes, Theo here. I was. That presents an issue. No, not for you specifically, but we're bringing up people they might target besides you. You said I managed to parry the City and Stars avatar. Is how I heard it phrased by Arata.
She did. A part of the plan I didn't really go into because it doesn't matter until Odoheim is dead, is that the other advantage of using warships that we target and bring in and prepare is that I can put ritual circles on them to aid in potentially doing that again.
I see.
But that doesn't matter much in here.
Yes, no, the reason I'm bringing it up is very simple. If we're talking potential targets, then Io is most certainly one if they're going to try something.
Keep the two of us can stay together. We know how to cover each other's backs, and probably I would leave Sion with us as well in the ethereal.
He nods at that, placing up his glasses. Good, good. Yes, yes, but yes, it just came to mind. It just came to mind hearing of Io's exploits and her habit of filming all the battles. If they wanted to break morale, he trails off for a second, looking away.
Mm-hmm.
Why did I have to be smart, cultists? We have to worry about shit like this.
Yeah, they're always the worst.
I think the best thing to do is put all your engineering focus on a generator replacement.
Generator replacements? Yes, still some of
Hmm?
it. I'm going to need you to explain the logic. The ley line, drawing power from the ley lines is extremely stable, extremely clean. It doesn't need extremely clean, and most pressingly, it doesn't need pressingly until the dragons showed up. It didn't have any major issues. It doesn't even require major drilling into the earth like geothermal energy does.
But simply put, it is too much of a tactical downside now. We are working on potential usage of Draconite as a power source. That is more Ashley's department, though. I have some theories about it, but that I will share as soon as if they bear fruit. But yes, that generator needs to go.
Hmm. He hums at that. Kenji, the glasses man, looking towards Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
Using Draconite, yes?
Yep.
How much energy do you...
Yeah. Turns.
No, he'll gesture for you to speak.
Sorry.
Speak, you can go.
No. You can go.
Okay, so how much energy can you get out of it?
Ah. Well, I haven't quite researched the upper limits, but the Draconite crystal I have in the Prometheus is, well, enough to power a. Actually, we'll just Sester to the Prometheus.
Understandable. And how big is the crystal?
Out of character, I don't remember if that was ever
I'm
established.
pretty sure.
It was a small one. We brought it back in a batch of like 6 or so that we got from a mall.
Yeah, it was one of the mall.
Oh,
It was one. It was one of the like. It was one of like the knee-high crystals in the mall that were blocking off. Blocking you guys off from the upper floor.
And we happen to also know where a really fucking big crystal is.
But yeah, but
I
like
want to use that as a mine at some point,
yes.
in addition to the other mine.
But yeah. So
To
Rada's
experiment.
just going to gesture vaguely to me. So crystal up to my knees is enough to power the Prometheus. Then
yep.
for practically ever from whatever he asked, tilting his head.
Uh, I've been trying to keep an eye on it, but I haven't seen signs of it slowing down.
Hmm, that is impressive.
And
I'm
then
going to.
I
And
will
we
note,
also happen to know where a dump truck-sized crystal is located.
That's one of
you
Conquest's.
said that.
Also, I'm pretty sure that was one of Conquest's crystals. The one you're referring to. No, he's not referring to the one in Florida. I think he's referring to Conquest's crystal that you guys made really big. That one evaporated when Conquest died.
No, I'm talking about the silo one.
Ah, Kenji hums. Yes. From what we've seen on the crystals, I imagine the dragon factor, the output, is a problem. How do you deal with that?
Currently, it's a bit of an unsolved problem with the Draconite crystal the size the Prometheus uses. Generally, just letting it out as exhaust isn't a problem yet, but using it for larger scale uses, that's something that'll need to be tackled.
That would produce too much dragon factor, certainly, but hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I will note, again, this is still research. I have not been able to fully test it. I just think it will work. as soon as we have Otheim dead, or not dead, but removed from play, I will be able to determine if this research is viable, and we'll have results, one way or the other. If it works, we shouldn't have to worry about the dragon factor.
Hmm. If you say so. But yes,
I am being vague as to not get people's hopes up.
understandable. He's going to look to you, Ashley. Ashley, would you mind running the next few days spending that? I'd like to add on to the I would like to add on to the treaty that we get a copy of your information, a copy of your technical information on how to make and maintain such Draco Knight engines. I'll see if we can come up with
course.
something. If perhaps some sort of gas trap for the exhaust and letting it out over the ocean, maybe. He he murmurs,
Hmm.
I might not be as good an engineer as my brother, but I did learn a lot just listening to Akira talk about his work.
You're overthinking it, Kenshi. Talk to Sakura and the wards in the city that are currently expel Dragon Factor already.
They
That would
don't
be one way to do it, I suppose.
they don't necessarily expel it right now. What the wards do,
But more, they interface with it, and you could benefit. Basically, talk to your mages, not just your techies.
yes, I will once he's not busy, but yes. I'll see if we can.
Yes.
Yes, but basically, right now the ward just works like a giant filter at the edges. It doesn't actually do anything this far in, but else you wouldn't have to worry about the smell on the surface. But that is something I'll have to keep in mind. Yes, that is a good point. Anyways, unless you have any other questions for me, I think I'm good to prepare for the 2 weeks. Unless Commander Miskin has anything he wants to veto. Nope,
I
you just hear the
do
command. Just say over the radio. Oh, you go, Ashley.
I do have one question.
Yes. What is it?
Uh would you have anyone particularly knowledgeable on the workings of magical healing? I've been trying to see if I could crack getting my Prometheus to process all forms of magical healing as
Hmm.
almost as if it was a living being. It took quite a beating in the last mission, and it's going to need it.
Hmm. I'm not sure about that. Hmm.
Oh,
I think some of the Sukumagone among the yokai might be able to, I'm probably mingling that word horribly out of character, I apologize. Might be able to know something that help with that. They're the yokai that formed from items that are over 100 years old, if I helpfully remind you. They might know
hmm.
something useful about that, but I'm not sure.
Kirov holds
Well,
up a finger. Wait, you're telling me that one weird game I heard about with the people ships might actually be real? What the hell?
No, that we haven't seen any of it. If those are possible, we haven't seen any. We haven't seen any. He shakes his head. At that, you see him reach down and you see him write down and hear the sound of him writing onto a piece of paper, scratching something onto a piece of paper, duct taped to the bottom of his desk.
Oh god, he's actually gonna look into it.
Oh, that's uh, no. No. I'll say you guys. No, I'll say he just sighs. You are not the first person to ask that question. I've been keeping track of how many people ask it just to see if they're just because it is just annoying. We haven't seen anything
Out
like
of
that.
character.
You aren't
Is
getting
that paper
It's a
Out
paper.
of character.
It's a paper with tally marks on it. It's a paper with tally marks on it, saying how many people have asked if supergirls are real on it. It's currently got 100 tallies
That is
on it.
exactly what I was going to ask.
It's got like 100 tallies on it right now. You can see Kenji's face. He's just done with that question.
I love it.
Besides that, is there anything else?
Nothing on my end. I wanted to talk to Sakura, but the only important thing has now been covered.
He nods. Okay, you're free to. He yawns.
And
You're
then
free.
yes,
You're all free
we
to
do
leave
still
then.
need to do research into how she. We do need to do research in how the Otoheim plans to resurrect. If Io's plan works, then it won't be an issue, but we need a backup there.
He nods. Yes. Besides that, you're all free to go. You might be able to. You might be able to. Lady Sakura probably said wait until after the speech. Yes.
Yeah.
Or I think so. This is just me mentioning it
She tends
again
to.
because
She
it
tends
bears
to over.
repeating.
She tends to overestimate the durations. Durations on things. So I was just checking tomorrow. Tomorrow just to make sure, especially because well, the wizard is eccentric. He also knows what he is doing. He is just very eccentric.
I may go try to help them.
He, up to you if you're willing to deal with a man who every day at the crack of dawn is standing on the tallest building that still remains on the surface of Kyoto, in nothing but a bathrobe and a wizard hat, screaming at the sky for God to smite him down if he's not a coward.
So, who's gonna tell him God is likely dead?
He's been doing that for the last 10 decades. I don't think he cares.
Well, it helps that we're pretty sure, or that he's a friend's grandfather apparently.
Granduncle. I will correct you on that out of character.
Granduncle, sorry. Yeah, friend's granduncle, and well, I do owe a lot to Aleka, so I may as well see what's going on.
Okay. So party leaves the. So yeah, Kenji's just gonna shoot you all out in that moment.
Coast, do we want to, or does Sylvan want to do anything since she may have to get going?
Yeah, Sylvan, do you want to do anything
I will
next?
be here for a bit longer.
Okay. I just
Do we
want
want
to
to
check
do
first.
anything?
Depends.
So on.
Oh, she's got another prank call coming.
Oh, for fuck's sake! You were still at the top, dude. The Scarlet Queen explicitly said, "Please stop doing those. I will consider future ones to be truce breaks."
I actually am not.
Okay, so
Yes, but you need
I
to be
think it's
careful of
hilarious.
your exact words when making a deal with the devil.
okay, so Kenji's using a lot of his office. Arata is just spinning his hat along his fingers. Eh, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure the old Coots workshop is actually underneath his gaming shop. I've heard him. I'm like pretty sure he uses the salt from uses the salt from bad trading card pulls and dice rolls and war games and all that stuff to fuel his magic.
Oh
You
man,
know,
imagine if you had a cafe with League of Legends set up.
I heard someone
you're
actually
up.
ask about that
We
once.
don't have an internet.
No, before the emergency, I heard someone actually asked him that. He cursed them out. He cursed them out so hard about easy ways to power that they spent the following night as a frog. Anyways, so who's doing what?
Lucine is going to go help out. I, I don't think she's got anything to really say. She's just helping.
Okay, what is Kiro doing there?
I am mostly here to see what hilarity ensures.
Okay, I'll deal with that scene in a second then. Ashley, what are you doing?
Ashley, well, first off, at her earliest convenience, she's going to get the technical, basically whatever documentation she has on Draconite engines for Kenji. But for now, she's going to try to get in touch with the Tsukumogami that Arata. No, not. Sorry, brain moment that Kenji directed her to.
Okay, yeah. So it takes you do a little bit of looking around the streets of Under Kyoto, and unfortunately, it turns out to be a bit of a dead end at this exact moment because
All right.
most of the Sukumoni have taken advantage of their durability to join up with the self-defense force and go shooting dragons in the face.
I approve of this logic.
Sorry, I got distracted for a split second there. What?
Most of them join the self-defense force, so they're not here right now.
All right.
And the person and people who do their medical stuff are the shrine maidens and the priests and all that. Their boss is Lady Sakura.
Who is currently busy, I see.
All right.
So is there anything else you want to do?
Well, I guess Ashley's going to take a look at the generator then.
Okay, I'll put you
Kind
on
of get a sense of how it works.
I'll describe that in a moment. Sion, what you doing?
Mhm. Mostly following the others around to make sure they don't do anything crazy.
That sounds like
Yeah, what's
hypocrisy.
Sion being a responsible adult, it must be the end of the world.
I mean,
No, she's just bored.
the world did in fact end.
Yes, that's the joke.
Fair enough. So I'll have you follow. I'll have you following Ashley then right now. Ashley right now, most because she's off by herself.
Sounds good.
Flipping a coin to see
Well.
which scene I do first. Okay, generator it is. So first question, Sion, how are you following Ashley exactly?
Invisibly via the ethereal plane.
Okay. So yeah. Okay, so
I'm haunting you.
anyway, so yeah, Ashley, Ashley, you follow the back streets of under Tokyo towards the general district that hosts the generator and all the stuff for it. It is held in a separate cavern linked to the rest of Undertale all its own, and that's because it's fucking huge. It's like the size of a building. It's this.
Yes, that's most power plants.
Let me finish talking. It's this big metal brick. It looks like it's this big metal brick big metal brick with struts coming out of it, digging into the ground a bit where you can see this vague, occasional vague trails of this greenish silver light flick up them and through the struts and into the generator, into the power plant itself. It's fucking huge, covered in covered in ropes, in sacred ropes, ceiling tags, all sorts of magical foci that you're pretty sure are used to make safely keep the energy from pulling anything funny. Sion, in the ethereal plane, this close, you can actually see the ley line in the sparse cavern. It's a big old stream of a silvery green energy, kind of like a river flowing up from down below through through where the generator stands, then going roughly roughly to the north, at a little bit of an angle, at an eastern, at a little bit, at a very minute eastern angle.
Ashley will. First off, is there anyone else around?
You do see a checkpoint like halfway between the entrance and the power plant itself. And there are a couple of guards there. Besides that, the big sparse cavern is pretty empty. However, on the spiritual side of the thing, on the not spiritual side, on the ethereal planar side of things, Sion, the checkpoint is a lot. The checkpoint in the ethereal plane is just a solid transparent wall of holy energy. You you don't think that looks like it just wraps around the the inner part of the district, going through the walls and up floor in order to keep anyone from trying anything funny by phasing through the walls or floor.
Sion blinks a few times, and after noticing that the energy barrier is still there, shrugs and returns to the material plane.
Just pops into existence next to Ashley.
Yep.
Huh. I had a feeling there was someone there.
Yep. There's a neat energy barrier around here.
What's your rolling bluff for?
Oh no, Ashley totally did not have a feeling there was someone there.
I'm pretty sure Sion can tell you're lying, like just passively. So there's a checkpoint. There's a checkpoint there. Big humming sacred looking metal box. What do you do?
Uh, hmm. I guess Ashley would kind of want to get a closer look at just generally how the generator room functions for her own secondary generator project.
Okay, makes sense. I'm asking, how do you guys approach this? Do you just walk up to him? What do you do?
I guess
Naturally,
Ashley.
Sion will allow Ashley to take the lead.
I guess Ashley would try the upfront approach first.
Okay, yeah, you walk. Okay, so you walk up to the checkpoint. There's a couple of the self-defense force folks are there. They look you two over. Stop. Look you two over again. There's two of them. One of them's just a guy. One of them's just a human guy.
All right.
The other. Give me a second. The other is a kappa carrying the other is a kappa carrying a shotgun.
Oh boy, I like this guy already.
The kappa looks you over, frowning a little bit. His cell on his back and the water ball on his head both wavering a little bit as he leans in, looks you all over, pulling up a silver magnifying glass, just lazily waving over you two. Okay, so you two are members of that piercing squad I've heard about from the Braston. Braston, you fit the descriptions at least, and I don't see any signs of a fuckery. What are you here for?
Ah. Kenji wanted me to help with some projects with potential alternative power in case things go. In case. Well, Kenji wanted me to help with a project regarding power, so I figured it would be a good idea for me to scope out the generator ahead of time. Make sure I know what I'm working with.
The generic human dude looks at you a bit suspiciously. I see. And
At this point, Sion will interject, stating plainly, She has his explicit permission to perform as much mad science as she wants.
He's just going to stare at you.
Sion smiles.
The
I
cat
wouldn't call it mad science.
just face palms at this. Sion conducting psychological warfare on the friendlies. Anyways, the Kappa says before his partner can get back to being a deuce. So you both have permission from the brass. Mind if I take a second to check that?
Perfectly fine. As a side
Go ahead.
question, how do you feel about Hiroshima?
Why?
Why?
Was out of pocket.
Why?
Leon, the fuck?
What the fuck?
It's actually quite relevant given what we're experimenting with.
Okay, you don't.
So then this is getting sent to me how, in all caps, talk some sense into your girlfriend.
This was quite intentional. She's trying to gauge the reaction of what they'll think if they think the same person from some country known for using nuclear power is trying to make a Draconite power generator, which will naturally then evolve into a Draconite bomb.
Okay, so the generic human dude turns as white as a goddamn ghost, and then he falls over.
Sion nods her head with a stage look on her face. Well, that answers that question.
The cat is just staring off into the distance. You don't just bring that up from. Demons.
Is also going to join in with the you don't just bring that up.
I was joking when I said Cian was conducting psychological warfare on the friendlies. I was fucking joking.
I knew Fiona was gonna do something dumb.
It's a data ends in a lie. Of course she did. Of course she did. So the woman who injected Drake, who the only reason she didn't eat a fucking Arc Dragon heart when you killed Conquest is that the party didn't let her.
Yes.
Be gone, bot. Give me a second. There's a bot in the chat. I need to kill it. Everything else can come after I murder the fuck out of this bot.
All right.
Give me a second to do my mod. Give me a sec? I'm fighting. Give me a sec. I'm first report for being a bot. Where's the report button? Give me a sec. Spam scans bots. Okay. Bot has been reported, and now I'm going to ban their ass. Bot has been banned. Sion, what you don't? What the fuck, Sion? Why? I have several questions. Most of them are why.
To be honest, it was legitimately an attempt to gauge what their general reaction will be if they make the natural connection of what's the next step after using something for power generation.
I'm not sure anyone but you thought that was the natural connection.
No, I
It
did
was.
too.
While I didn't figure it out, That is a correct conclusion.
The cap is
Not
just
what I came up with.
The cap is just staring at Xeon. You know, you know. I really understand why the old fucking Coot said he prefers dealing with Oni to dealing with the demons he's used to.
At this, Sion nods. Oni are pretty cool, yeah.
Please don't ask about that topic
Actually,
anymore.
this is where you call her that she used to be human.
Yeah, but
Well,
they don't know that.
Anyways,
Right, that's when they. That's why Ashley.
anyways, he pulls up a phone, texts into it real quick, and then sighs slowly and nods. You two are allowed in. You two are allowed in. Just two are allowed in. Just the guards will be keeping an eye on you, and he points to Sion. Please, please do not startle the people working on the fucking generator.
will do, my radiation-resistant friend.
He cringes. Just please go. Please go.
Ashley is going to kind of just agreeably walk through, visibly mildly embarrassed at what Sion just did.
Sion achieves all of her goals.
Yes, by annoying the hell out of us. You managed to get through the rest of the security about much difficulty. The inside of the generator is set up. It's basically a big open room inside the cube with a couple of smaller rooms jutting into it. If that makes any sense.
Mhm.
Mainly an option.
Mhm.
You managed to get up onto the observation deck with some supervision from a whole fucking squad of self-defense boys. Smash cut to the others. God damn it, we left Sion unattended. Why is that bad? Cut back to Sion dealing with sanity damage. Accurate. Accurate. Do not leave Sion unattended by someone who can handle her bullshit. She will do more bullshit. Anyway, so
The only person who can handle her bullshit is EO.
and Neo's not here right now. You're suffering. This is correct. So
Exactly. We
You're
left her
suffering.
unattended.
so the head of
Know
the
that she will, at a later point, send the equivalent of a text message to our wonderful Archdragon friend bragging about doing this.
we're not covering that right now. The observation deck
You
looks.
see what I mean? You see what I mean?
I do. So, yeah, the observation deck is standard, pretty standard, except for except for the buttons of magical sounding terms as their labels and such. Those six
Alright.
struts from on the outside appear to be connected to pylons on the inside of the power plant that all point together, gathering that silvery green energy into a humming sphere, which
Mhm.
they've then got a basically to make it sound really simple. Which underneath the big glowy energy ball, they have a big metal spike plugged into a bunch of capacitors and cables, and
Mhm.
is drawing and is doing some sort of magic mumbo jumbo to transform that energy into electricity, which is getting conducted through the giant metal spike into Kyoto's power grid and power
Mhm.
storage.
It's totally just boiling water.
They're not they are
It's
not
totally boiling water.
they're not boiling water. They're not boiling water. They're it's basically casting ley line energy to electricity.
Boil water.
They're not boiling water.
Like, that's how literally all energy works these days.
They haven't. They have the electricity. They don't need to boil water. They do not need to boil water. Shut up. So, the person in charge, the person in charge, the person in charge of land is a Nekomata in human form. Just man in a lab coat of cat ears and two cat tails. Tails who looks up as you guys just walk in. Ah, what the fuck was that?
No idea.
Please take things seriously. So he looks up as you guys head in. I don't have a token for him. I'll fix that eventually.
All right. Oh, good.
You must be the engineer from Tier 3 Squadron and your escort.
Hmm?
He's talking to you. He
No, I literally just missed. I missed something.
he said
I missed what he said.
you're the engineer from Tier 3 Squadron and 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 the escort bodyguard whatever. Proper term doesn't matter.
Indeed, I am.
He nods. Yes. Well, feel free to ask me any questions about the ley line generator. Not that kind of escort. Not that kind. Not that kind. Like bodyguard. Please.
You guys are doing the circus.
They are in fact doing the circus. So yes, the ley line generator, at least its current form, is kind of my life's work at this point. So feel free to ask me any questions you have about it. He says, looking towards you, Caddy, are switching.
How are you planning to try and block it off from the cult getting through it?
Yet, from what Lady Sakura has discussed with me, the plan is basically to leave the only openings to be where the pylons are plugged into the ley lines. So hopefully, if they try to come in through those, they get sucked. They get sucked through into 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 the giant ball of ley line energy and electricity and get fried to death.
That should work at least a few times, but eventually they might realize what's happening and make countermeasures.
Eventually.
He gestures.
Or, just pop out before the generator.
That's what the self-defense force is here. She also mentioned I did recommend putting in some sort of emergency stop mechanism, but that I'm not a wards expert. That's not my expertise is more transmuting energy, different forms of energy into each other.
I will point out that A,
Huh.
we don't need it to last that long. B, landmines.
You want to put landmines in the generator room.
Better to lose a pylon than lose the generator.
It's extremely.
Actually, we'll kind of.
Lucine's not here. This is me out of character.
So
I love how just landmines is the go-to answer to the ley line issue.
you fuckers don't have enough fucking landmines. Fuck you. Anyway, so what were you saying, Ashley?
Ashley will take a mental note of this mention of transforming energies into other kinds of magical energies. She's not like 100% certain how applicable it is to getting healing working on the Prometheus, but
It might be something.
worth remembering.
But you might be able to use it to do dial a damage type.
What if we made a landmine out of Elysian Draconite?
Don't bring that up on stream. No spoilers.
What if we tainted a nuke with regular Draconite? I'm through
That-
that room.
No,
Is that in character?
No.
well, I'm going to point out that Lucine has at this point memorized the book Kirov gave her and handed it to some of the Japanese guys.
Yes,
Which
the improvised munitions field manual.
See, you are not making you fuckers are not getting a Draconite laced nuke. No, nothing good would come of that.
I'm sure it would be very effective at compelling Rome to give us more books and grovel more.
Or it might turn Rome into a bunch of crying lizards.
Though I'm pretty sure that would just fucking create Godzilla.
Anyways, back on topic.
But guess what? If we then ate Godzilla, we'd be even stronger.
Anyways, back on topic. She please. Give me the cat. I need to catch my breath. Uh, uh, I think Sal's just still. I think Sal was still staring into the distance after what Sion said to the guys at the checkpoint.
Understandable.
Anyway, so Catboy signed. So Catboy signed to just push his glasses up. But yes, do you want me to explain how the generator works?
I would love to hear.
So using the pylons, we draw energy from the ley lines, dividing it up so it doesn't overload the pylons and shatter them or explode them or anything else that can happen. Trust me, there are a lot of things that can happen if a pylon explodes. None of them are nice.
I'd imagine.
Channel them into that point into that energy sphere, which is a bunch of wards we've had set up to channel the energy, keep it still, then transform it into electricity, to light, to raw electricity, which is captured by the capture spike. Spike, not my name for it. Not my name for it, but it's an effective one, so it's stuck, which transfers the energy into the capacitor bank into the capacitor bank and banking into the rest of the power grid. Right now, it's right now it's not functioning at a peak efficiency. It's functioning at, I'd say, 3/8 or so. 3/8 or so peak efficiency and power output right now. When the dragons emerged, the ley lines got weaker. Also, Zal, no, we are not going Draco
What?
nuclear. I'm yelling at the chat. Sorry.
Okay.
So, yeah, no. Basically, it basically works by just drawing energy from the ley lines, containing that energy, turning it into lightning, shoving the lightning into a big metal spike that transfers it into capacitors
Mhm.
and from the capacitors into the power grid.
All right.
The ley lines are also,
Interesting.
it's not operating at full efficiency or in power output. Right now, he's put his power output at 3/8. Apparently, the power output, he says, continuing on and gesturing to you, tail switching, dropped to 1/8 when the Stygian star rose from the surface from the depths of the planet. Went up to 2/8 a couple months ago. I want to say around, check my timeline notes or something. Around the end of January, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Then on the 5th of March, it went up from two. It went up to the current percentage, which is went up from 2/8 energy to 3/8 energy output. So I'm not sure what is causing the jumps, but it's something to keep an eye on. Do you have any idea what
Out
it
of
is?
character, are those supposed to be Archdragon kill dates?
Those are literally the dates I have in the timeline. Yes, for Operation for Killing Conquest and Operation David, respectively.
Yeah,
I'm
I was about to ask the same
sure
thing.
those numbers don't line up. I don't think. Maybe I thought. Maybe I could be wrong.
No, you're wrong. I have
Whatever.
a big
Just
fucking
Whatever.
substitute the
timeline
number.
doc. I have a big old
Just
timeline
substitute.
doc.
Yeah. No. You go. You go.
You got.
Yeah.
Oh, I was
Ashley
just
would
gonna
know.
say if they're wrong, just substitute the dates said with the actual date.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's off by one, just blame time zones.
I hate time zones. We all hate time zones. Everyone reasonable hates time zones.
Yay.
Anyways,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just blame time zones.
so, but yes, what? Do you actually have any idea the cause of both of these phenomenons? He's
I
asking both.
believe that's
He's asking both of you. I'll clarify. He's asking you and Sion as well.
that is, if memory serves, about when we took out a couple archdragons.
A couple arc dragons, he says, like it's nothing. I. I see. Uh. Are the arc dragons feeding off the? This is giving me
If
something to
you're
think of.
asking if the Archdragons are doing something, the answer is probably at least one of them.
Good bet at this point.
Yes, I'm not a soldier. From what I've heard, the Orochi has done. It's ugh. I can't imagine fighting something like
Except
that.
perhaps Conquest.
Hmm?
Except perhaps Conquest. He was a bit of an idiot.
My,
Personally, I think that's forgivable, though, since he was raised in a lab and tortured for his entire life.
he's just going to stare at you for a second.
Sion, stop inflicting sand damage.
He's
Actually,
just
we
You
don't
know.
even know. Was he born in Area 51?
Well, we have a general idea that, and given this is the same cult that was, doing everything else we've seen them do, it's pretty on key that when the one dragon we talked to about it's basically said they spent their whole life in pain, that they spent their whole life in pain.
Oh, I didn't. But that said, we do know Conquest was not a bloodline dragon.
No,
Conquest
still
is too
was
much of
raised
a
by
little.
the cult in a lab.
No, Conquest.
No,
No.
it was Area 51.
Oh, that was the government. I thought it was the cult.
No, it's the government. That's why Conquest was so fucking. That's why Conquest was so fucking mad at you guys. It was the government that did it. That's why he was so pissed at you.
Oh.
I guess he knew
Yeah,
Eo glowed in the dark.
You guys were just subtle about working for Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, to get back on topic.
To be honest, I kind of assumed the government was infiltrated by the cult anyway.
Anyways, back on topic. Doesn't matter the government. The American government is dragging for this point.
Oh god, the government is lizard people.
Anyways, back on topic. So the Necromon is going to look at Ashley. Is she always like this?
Yes.
He's going to
It's
look
one of
back.
my charm points.
Can you repeat that? I didn't hear that.
It's one of my charm points.
He's going to look back at Ashley. My condolences.
I manage.
Understandable. Yeah.
Out of curiosity, do you intend to have children?
God damn it!
Okay. I'm just going to give an awkward side eye at that.
No, it's not for that reason. I'm just saying that
Note to
you should
self:
feel
never
very
let her
comforted.
near the Marines.
No, I did not hear Sion
You
say.
should
Can you
feel
please repeat
comfortable.
that, Sion? Can you please stop and fucking sanity damage every fucking sentence?
She was just going to say that if the answer was yes, that you should be pleased to know that someone as responsible as I will be alive to watch over them for the entirety of their lives.
Okay, so
Ashley is not sure what to make of that.
he
I'm pretty sure that's a threat.
I don't know why she would be threatening him.
She's not actually threatening. She's reassuring.
That doesn't sound reassuring. Make an intimidation check.
Would it be intimidation or persuasion?
Make an intimidation check. You got a fucking okay. It's a crit fail, so what you rolled it doesn't matter.
No, crit fails don't apply to skill checks.
They do in this
Okay,
situation.
it's funnier if she. I'd let this one because it's just RP and not something serious.
Also, it's funnier. He just looks away from her. I immediately understand. I immediately understand why the wizard suggested. Why the wizard started beating the one intern who suggested tapping hell for energy for broomstick.
And totally not because he's played Doom.
I mean, he's probably played Doom as well, but you get the point.
He's a nerd. He's probably tried to put Doom on at least one of the devices in here.
If it's any consolation, I have no relation to hell. Entirely Earth.
He's gonna go back to Ashley. Is there any way to get her to stop talking?
Nope.
If there is,
Unless you
I
happen
don't
to
know
be
it.
an archdragon of nuke. That's what it took last time.
Wait, can you just wait? What? Wait, what?
Well, metaphorically. Not the archdragon of the actual nukes.
I'm just going to ignore you now. So he's just going to look to Ashley. So I'm going to assume we've already gotten the documents to Kenji, given the documents to Kenji, Ashley.
Yeah.
So the acting president sent me a couple photocopies of documents through secure line. Would those be your work by chance?
He's asking if it's Ashley's work, right?
Yeah, he's
Didn't
asking.
quite come across.
Yeah, he's asking if the Draken Identities
Alright.
are your work.
Yep.
I do have to say it's a bit crude, but crude works. And besides that, it is
Food's
frankly,
what we've got to work with.
yeah, indeed, and it is ingenious.
Thank you.
What I do? No. So how? So I wonder. He's going to pull up a notepad and wave you over. Do you think if we hooked up something to transform to transmute the draconic energy into something else? Yes, you can hear the conversation, Sion. You don't need to roll to listen. He's not being that quiet. He's just ignoring your existence. If we could transmute, do you think if we could? Do you know enough about how the crystals function? That do you know if? Okay, basically, he's going to ask you a question. Do you know if we transmute the crystals' drag energy they give off? Do you think we could use that to avoid the buildup of dragon factor?
Hmm. It's worth research. I would expect that as such, but it would be good to look into that on a smaller sample before upscaling that, for applying that to a sample large enough to power a city.
Yes, a containment failure on a special sample of that size would easily cause a doom spiral event. To borrow a term used by some of the guards here.
Mhm.
Oh god, he's played Dwarf Fortress too.
Some of the guards here have. Basically, to clarify what he means by Doomspire elements, he means dragon factor turns one person into a dragon. That dragon makes another dragon. Those two dragons make two more dragons. You get how this works.
So the typical
Yeah.
zombie spiral, okay.
Yeah, the zombie spiral, except for the fact that the zombies are multi-ton flying death breathing lizards.
That is indeed something to avoid.
But yeah, I'm just going to trail off, have the session, the scene trail off here with the scientist and Ashley talking as he very stubbornly ignores Sion's
Sion?
existence. Why is Sion making a will save? Why is Sion making a will save?
Or that she'll start using her telepathy to start seeing into the man's mind.
Is a 43 a success?
Yep.
Better be.
Okay.
It means she'll give him 5 minutes of peace before doing it.
Okay. Wait. I'm going to cut over to the workshop now.
Yeah, Ashley's also kind of gonna ask for the technical specs of the generator, but I don't expect you have that on hand.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. It's a very big
Yeah.
blueprint. They don't have the tapping from the ley line isn't something you can really downscale.
Yeah. Anyway,
Meanwhile, as Sion is torturing people for no reason,
Shit, we left Sion unattended.
Arana blinks as he turns to Kirov. The three of you coming to a stop outside of the workshop / GameStop. Hmm? Did you say something, Kirov?
Yeah, we left Sion unattended, which means he's probably inflicting mental distress on someone right now.
It can't be that
Yeah,
bad.
should have sent her home with Theo.
It can't be that bad.
You
She's made
sweet
a
summer child.
double checking. We know about her little habit, right?
You guys, I think I'm pretty sure you guys. I think you guys vaguely know she's doing something with the hubs. I don't think you guys actually know what. No, well, I don't think Sion told you about the time an assassin tried to blow her up because he info dumped into the Scarlet
Oh
Queen's
yeah, no, I
brain.
meant the first. Well,
I meant the fact that she's crank calling an Archdragon.
Yeah, and Sion, does the party know about that?
She vaguely alluded to it when she said that she was very satisfied with what she had done and that all matters were resolved.
I'm pretty sure we know. Look, she ever one of her go-to tricks in combat is to give people mind, not like dangerous ones, like songs.
Like,
She can.
Like the song that never ends.
I think she actually said that to a dragon once.
He also
blinked.
sung the My Little Pony opening song.
Oh my fucking God. He blinked for a second. Isn't she the I talked to some of your guys when I was back at your base. Isn't she the one who also first started stealing dragon blood to use for magic?
She
Yep.
started the whole thing by injecting herself with draconid blood.
I have several questions.
And the answer to all of them, it's Sion. She is beyond mortal comprehension.
Should I send someone to go grab her? Yes, Kisung looks a
No.
lot more nervous.
You can't. He is not actually harmful, just chaotic.
Also, that means she would just troll them instead.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure the self defense force can take getting trolled a little bit. I'm just.
You sweet summer child.
Okay. Okay. Like, okay. How bad can she get here? Arata asked, wings flared.
I'm
the part
pretty
where I
sure she's trying to conduct a psyop against an Ark Dragon.
And by psyop, we mean prank calls.
What the fuck? That's a question, by the way. That's a what the fuck question mark?
I'm pretty sure she has been prank calling the Scarlet Queen.
The horrifically dangerous Ark Dragon that lives right next door to you.
Yeah.
Arata just stares at Lucina for a moment.
You get used to it.
How is that even possible? How has it not pulled her brain out of her skull with a claw yet?
Remember the Cold War thing?
I'm yeah.
Yes, she's taking advantage of the Cold War to play the world's deadliest game of I'm not touching you.
He's silent. How does she even pull that shit off? I don't think a succubus can reach through that murder fog I saw the one time I poked my head up onto your surface area.
It doesn't actually interfere that much with magic, from what I understand of it.
I'm pretty sure that's not actually how what Sion's method uses to flood her telepathy into the Scarlet Queen's brain, if I remember correctly.
No, she just used a ritual as a signal booster.
That was her initial method. Then she did the whole literally hack jobbing a biblioteca or whatever it was called to literally beam the information directly into her head.
Don't install a biblioteca.
Yeah, you basically figure out how to get past the do not call list.
It's worse than that because it's not
We don't know about that one because we don't know about that one because we were busy dealing with the Fae at the time.
You were busy dealing with but yes, but yeah. So before we go,
I didn't say that in character because I don't know she did something stupid.
yes. I was just gonna
Yes.
say I'm okay. I'm not drunk enough to deal with this. We're going to deal with something that makes sense, like the wizard who screams that the sky forgot to kill him. Come on, follow me. So,
I'm
leaves
just
you.
imagining he overheard the whole thing.
So he leaves you. So he leads you all into the workshop / game store. Then he leads you down to the basement, and you hear this. And you hear the sound of You hear the sound. A sound that sounds like big nails, like nails, like not metal, but keratin, bonking
Fingernails
against.
on a chalkboard.
No, bonking on wood repeatedly. You get down to the basement. You see Sakura is banging her head against the table repeatedly, and sitting across from her table is a man who can best be described as okay. Take the generic wizard. The only thing he is wearing he is wearing a fluffy bathrobe 5 sizes too big for him.
That's what I was afraid of.
5 sizes too big to him. He has sandals with socks on, and he has the most stereotypical wizard hat on his head. Hi, Sakura.
So Lucina's digging.
Let me do his character introduction a bit more. Hi, Sakura. You, if we want to leave a vulnerability into the world like that, we should just fucking rig it up to teleport the master straight into hell. I don't like something trash in their way is the least the fuckers could do for me. For taking her to trash section in their way is the least the fuckers could do for me. Sakura, meanwhile, just
Send them to the
continues.
bottom of the ocean instead.
Sakura,
Hell
meanwhile,
is technically fighting.
let me finish talking. Sakura continues banging her head against the table for a moment before picking her head up as she notices that you guys are here. Ah, hello there, Lucine, Kirov, Arata. I
True, Zal, true.
True. She sighs and leans back. I wish I was drunk enough to deal with this. What brings you here? She says, ignoring the wizard who is currently muttering under his breath about feeding cultists to demons and feeding the demon, and then feeding the demons to dragons as a way to poison them.
I'm pretty sure that doesn't work because I think Hell's dealing with dragons too.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Hell. Yes, but fuck hell. Fuck hell on principle. I want hell to be a bear.
They are dealing with dragons.
He jumps onto the table. I want hell to be a barren waste. I want hell to be a barren wasteland that's entirely on fire and also freezing to death. Fuck hell.
I mean, isn't that already Hell already?
No. Hell is unfortunately not that on a hospital. I want everything in hell to be dead.
As much as we have no particular love for hell either, they are fighting against the dragons. Instead, send them to the bottom of the ocean. Let the pressure deal with it.
Bottom of the ocean. Sakura sighs and grabs a. There's like a big fucking cold box of ice packs against the wall. And you look down at the table, and there were multiple sets of horn indents in the table. You're pretty sure this is just how the interactions between the two of them go at this point.
We must never let him meet Sion.
Anyway, so the Yoku sighs. The water pressure. Honestly, if we're going to send them down that far, why not just throw them down to the mantle? Oh, you said that I see. Are you sure you want to do that?
Yes.
Okay, so you know that thing on the Exorcist where their head rotates 360 degrees?
Yeah.
His head does that. Does that as he just locks eyes onto you, and you blink, he's suddenly in your fucking face. Kira
What
said
did Kirov say?
never let him eat Sion.
Don't worry, I'll figure a way out, or I'll figure a way to meet him.
Sion, I think I've heard that. I think I've heard of her. Right. The demon I summoned and tortured last week. Bitched about her. Why was it again?
Oh, god damn it. What did she do this time?
I think it was something.
I think
they
it
were
was just her existing.
I think they were offended she didn't join them or something. I don't give a shit enough about what they think to care. Anyways.
Anyway, yeah, Sion is one of ours. She is mildly crazy, turned herself into an earthbound demon, etc. Though we do have something else I think you might be interested in. Lucine pulls out her phone, scrolls through some old photos until she finds one from the from Operation Bonfire, which was the Spit in the Star one. It's just the victory party, basically the gang and Alexis hanging out.
Oh, the Defend Alexis mission.
Yeah.
Yes.
The one where she was supposed to die.
Yes.
Still didn't.
The one where if you fuckers didn't play so picture perfect, I was going to have the Scarlet Queen actually roll in, and Alexis was going to do a heroic sacrifice to drive her off. That mission.
Yes.
It's an after party photo of Alexis and everyone else.
He blinks, slaps his knees as he leans down on it. Oh, little Alexis is still alive. That's good to see. What about my bastard niece and nephew?
Yep.
What about my bastard niece and nephew-in-law?
She used their their undead corpses as bait for a dragon, and then we blew up a gas station on them.
Acceptable.
Yeah, good times.
Acceptable. Is he still summoning demons?
Yes, she is.
Is he doing it just to torture them?
No, but she is being far more careful than her parents.
He still just tiskas that. Ah, bah.
She is a friend. She's keeping herself safe. That's what matters.
Ah, yes, yes, it is. No, I just have my quarrels with the forces of hell. Anyways.
Yeah, that much we figured out.
So my granddaughter works with you all. Well, then right?
Pretty
Yep,
much.
Alexis. First, first thing vaguely related to Magic Tutor before I apparently surpassed her, whole thing.
Ah, he nods at that. So, teleporting bottom of the ocean. That could work. That could work. The problem, the reason I wanted to do a hell rift is very simple. It's very hard to it's very hard to make a hell gate that won't send things to hell. It's very easy to make a teleport circle that will send somewhere else though. Space is a finicky bitch at times.
Yep, that's why I suggested what I did.
So what if you just aim for the space in between everything else?
He okay. Sakura opens mouth. Don't get him started. And then the Oku claps his hands on Kirov's shoulders. My boy, my boy, my boy, my boy. I am older than you. I get to call you my boy. He says, preemptively cutting you off. I have seen the space in between spaces. You do not want to send anything there. Trust me on that. There are far too many teeth there. And trust me, these teeth will bite your soul, they will bite your timeline, they will bite everything they could fucking bite. They can bite. I'm pretty sure if they eat you, you'll never have existed. We're not sending anything into there. Fucking with the timeline is bad. No.
I stand by my solution. It's probably about the simplest place that's guaranteed lethal.
Could work. It could work. But the oceans are full of that dragon gunk, and people who die from the dragon gunk have a tendency to get up as dragons.
I mean, if you have enough power, you could just send them right to the sun.
We do
I'm
not.
not.
We
I wouldn't be.
we don't have enough power to send to
Pressure's
space.
gonna kill dragons just as good as humans.
Cough cough. AD. Cough cough.
I'm not sure how AD
But
works against continuous stuff.
OP.
It blunts some of it at least.
I mean, pressure should deal with dragons though, just as well as it deals with humans.
There are aquatic dragons though. Anyway, so the Yoku's
True.
going to take his shirt off. Anyways. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is that? Kyoto Remnants. So I am James Alex. I am James. I'm Abraham. Hopefully the one. Hopefully hopefully one of the last two members of the Abraham family left. Mage family left alive on this planet. Otherwise, we're going to have a lot more problems.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Sakura picks her head up from her ice pack. As you can see, he is eccentric.
Hard.
I am older than you, Missy, and you're 101 years old. Shut up.
You're that old?
He stares you dead in the eyes. I am a fucking wizard.
I thought he was saying Sakura's that old.
She is not human. She is an Oni. She is really fucking
No,
old.
Lucine is more talk about Sakura than the old coot.
Yeah.
That checks out to her.
Yeah. Sacrifice. Yes, I'm technically yes. Yes, it's true. Oni age much slower than humans now. Do past childhood. I believe it's at a rate of 1 year for us for every 10 that humans age, something like that, roughly.
Oh
Okay,
damn.
so you're young by Oni standards.
Not quite, not quite.
I'd love to pick your brain about a whole bunch of stuff, but right now we're here to fix up the wards. And Kirov is here because he felt like it.
Arata
Yes,
sighs.
because I had a feeling something like this was going to happen, and I wanted to see the fireworks.
Arata says, meanwhile, I am here actually also. I'm here both to, I'm here just to play bodyguard, and also he's going to point at the old coot. Quick out of character. You guys set up the teleport thing you first came through in order to function as a quick back and forth between you guys and Ascalon, right?
Yes, why?
Yep. We set up one with Kyoto and one with Vatican.
You're being kind of quiet.
Sorry, I had to answer something. We do have a way to go bring you to where she is, but no, I actually got a bit of me. I actually Kenji actually texted me to ask you something, Sakura, besides pointing to the Oni. Uh, Tomorrow, assuming you've overestimated again and overestimated how long something will take again, and this is done, will you be able to meet the Ascalon psychologist for he trails off awkwardly for a second, so he just sighs. Yes, I will. I'll deal with that tomorrow if it is indeed the case. The, the wizard just sighs. It is indeed the case. I got the basic schema down here. We just need to figure out where the fuck they're going. I still think we should send them now. So, so
What, you mean you're investigating that whole portal network they got set up?
no, he's talking about you. No, he's okay. So schema. He's talking about the schema for the anti-lane line bullset.
Oh.
Anyway, so Does anyone here have anything you want to say or do, or can I end off the scene there if you guys trailing off into the tech
Oh,
into the
I mean,
no, yeah.
why
I
send
don't
them to just one place?
wizard
because then you
snaps
have to
his fi-
rend them apart, and that takes a lot of extra effort.
Yes. But if it is a good way of killing them dead or than fucking dead, I do like the idea. Hmm, hmm, hmm. At that he's going to grab open a bunch of books and stuff. Books. I'm going to start doing a calculation. Sakura, do your priest thingamajiggy. The only priestess just sighs and pulls out her scrolls as they two just start getting to work. I'm going to am I going to leave off on Lucine leaving and progressing the day count by one?
But
Yes.
yeah, Lucine is helping out with everything.
Yes, that means it takes 1 day. So I'm going to put that on the dock.
Yep.
Okay, so I can just update the timeline dock before I do everything else. So, oh, you guys are fucking. Sion has. I feel like Sion is. I feel like Sion has made me suffer today.
You don't say.
I do it all out of love.
I think that's the worst part. So, yeah, let me progress the day counter by one. So early. So on the I assume Lucian's going to be doing her thing on the early morning of the 16th of the 17th. Play me before
Yep.
everyone else is up.
It's Biblio time.
Here we go again. Where are you doing it? Are you doing it in under Kyoto or are you doing it in Ascalon?
Under Kyoto, it's better protected.
Okay, okay? Lady Soccer's going to want her. going to want you to do it on in the Shrine of Seals with her supervision in case something happens?
She is more than happy to do so.
Is anyone else going to be there for this?
Naturally, Sion will be there.
Oh no.
Oh God. Okay. When the old Coot hears what you're doing, he's going to be there too.
Oh god. It's happening.
Us.
Ninja shrugs. She's used to it. And basically, everyone important has watched her do a biblio at some
Yep.
point or another.
I am just here to watch the fireworks if that's gonna happen.
There's a second answering a question in the chat. Lucine's doing a divination ritual that has had a history of when it fails in very interesting ways.
It has never failed, actually. We got massive info every time.
You get what I mean?
The only
Actually,
actually, no, it did fail once.
She
and that
means
was just,
interesting in the Chinese sense.
Also, is Ashley going to be
But
there,
also-
actually?
If Ashley catches one of those, she's going to be curious as to what happened.
Okay, so everyone who's here still isn't back from helping out back in Under Boston. So as you guys pile into the relative pile into the inside garden that acts as the Shrine of Seals' ritual room. Lady Sakura nods to you as the Oku is just the Oku has gotten a plastic lawn chair from somewhere and he's sitting down in it and he's shoved the broadsword into the floor next to him.
Oh my god.
Sakura looks annoyed like he's just done this before, but he's just not saying anything.
I'm pretty sure I can hear Sion going, finally, a worthy opponent.
So, how is everyone else sitting down in this healing room? For people under us, Kiro, how are you sitting down in the healing room? What are you doing?
He's just leaning against a wall.
Okay, leaning against the wall. Sion, what are you doing?
She is about 1 inch above the ground, sitting in an invisible plastic chair.
Is he doing it next to the old coop?
Yes.
Sakura sighs incredibly slowly when she sees what Sion's doing. Oh fuck, the two of them.
Ashley's going to kind of just lean against the wall, kind of just giving space.
Understandable. Lucine, do your ritual preparations.
I mean, at this point, she's gotten good enough at this one to just use general purpose ritual circles, so she's just chanting, pulling out books, kind of just doing library things in a frenzy until she reaches the point that the actual question comes. Why has heaven gone silent?
Why has heaven gone silent? Such an interesting question. You guys have to find the right song for this.
Uh-oh.
And now that I have flashbanged you with that knowledge,
For fuck's
Sion
sake.
will say aloud, loud enough for Lucine to hear. This is reminding me of when I did this a few days ago.
So, you asked the
What?
question.
Oh no, Lucine actually is too much in the ritual trance to get that answer.
So you ask the question out into the universe, and for a second, nothing happens. And then you get a flash. A massive golden throne perched from a figure evading towards perched in it. City of white and gold. The kingdom of the greatest liar, which sees mercy and kindness, yet did not lift a holy finger as sinful followers did the opposite. All lies, all things based upon them, will one day end. Oh, give me a second. There we go.
Yeah, same issue for me.
Let me repeat that. So,
I was saying same with me as with Mon.
I know, that's why. So, flashes. A figure that evades words, perched on a massive golden throne, a heavenly city, white and gold perched upon the clouds. The kingdom of the greatest lie of the greatest liar, who preached mercy and kindness, yet did not lift a holy finger as his mortal followers did the opposite. All lies, all things based upon them, will one day end. Then the sky above the throne shatters like glass. The figure looks up. The figure looks up. A host of angels, wheels turning on wheels, golden fires adorned with wings, swords that blaze of holy light. All snuffed out. The kingdom plunged into darkness. Darkness as as the outline of a sea. Massive draconic falls from the gap with all the speed of a meteor and the gracefulness of a landing bird. The figure, the Abrahamic god, for who else could it be, goes to open their mouth. Opens their mouth as the massive blackened figure spreads their wings, the kingdom crumbling apart around them. Before there's a smaller flash of black on the throne sitter's shoulder. A figure in ornate black robes, bearing a purple crystal mask, with a blackened scythe that cuts through the air and through the throat of the divine, before dropping down on their knees in supplication to the darkened figure. On the day that mankind's illusions of worth was shattered, the greatest of lies was cast into the maw of the truth. The dragon, the star, for what else could it be, lunges forward, 7 pairs of eyes, one for each color of the rainbow, burning brightly as massive fangs dig into the bleeding throat, pulling the Abrahamic god off of his throne as he struggles that is surprisingly helpless as it devours him alive. As the
The very first thing Lucine says after.
The body's heart began to beat freely and ripped its way from the earth. The soul strode into the kingdom for those who worship power, worship the truth. That's the answer and the vision that came with it. End.
Well, that's good news. She's not being sarcastic, she actually thinks this is good news.
What?
So,
He's just dead, not a dragon.
the star says you need him. Also, make me a perception check.
Right.
Perception check.
Everyone watched this one. Also,
No, you.
Do you mean listen or spot?
You. Make a spot check. Considers. Across you saw something. You noticed something right as before the vision ends. Something the vision was purposely trying to hide through angles and such. A gas through the darkened figures for the star's souls chest, like a sword mark, faintly humming silver.
Ghost, could you repeat that? Someone's typing is obnoxiously loud.
That would be Sion. You saw.
Apologies. I didn't realize it was that loud.
You saw obscure, despite the vision's best attempts to attempting to obscure it for the angles. What looked like a sword wound carved into the chest of the star's soul, faintly glowing silver. With every bite of divine flesh that the Stygian star swallowed, the wound was slowly growing smaller.
Well, that could only be one thing. The phase actions, which means it eats it. The good news, so it's eating gods to. So let's. Lucy is rambling out loud, by the way. So it's eating gods to try and recover from a wound most likely dealt by Excalibur.
You don't know.
Good to know.
You guys, you don't actually know what the fucking weapon is. You just know it's a weapon.
Stolen from the Shrine of Promised Victory.
Fair enough. Sakura.
I mean, it could be to
Well,
Lance.
Sakura walks over to you as you finish ranting.
pretty sure the lance wasn't used.
Lucine,
And also,
Lucine, what did you see?
didn't everyone see it?
No.
Oh, well, unsurprisingly, Heaven got fucking wrecked, but it took both the star and the leader of the call. Good news, we do not have to deal with the dragon version of the Abrahamic god. It's got eaten. Or he just got eaten. And apparently, the star was devouring divine flesh in order to heal from a silvery wound that I would guess was dealt by Excalibur.
She frowns and hums. I I don't know much about the Fae. They're very. I suggest keeping that theory of yours to yourself. The Fae can be very protective of their secrets.
Mhm.
But
I'll keep it
Oh
to
yeah,
myself
she
until we
doesn't know yet.
I'll keep it to myself until we bring them the bounty they ask for in exchange for that information.
she nods, but ah,
Even dead, Nasu haunt us.
Sakura sighs. But yes, the issue is very. But yes, that's troublesome. I don't know anything about the cult's leader, I'm afraid. Afraid. But hmm, I'll see if I can commune with Lord Susano and see if I can figure out anything he knows. At least I can probably pass this information along to him and it'll be useful for his duties in the afterlife. So I will thank you for that
That it
information.
is. The Fae appear to be using what we have I have termed either white or sacrifice magic. The conscious, willing, and premeditated sacrifice of oneself for some greater purpose.
Sion, please turn up please turn up your
Yeah.
background filters. Your typing is really loud. Thank you. The Yoku's gonna walk over and slap his knees. God damn it, the big golden bastard's dead. I was dead. I was looking forward to him finally stop being a chicken so I could stuff my fingers up his nose.
But yes, at least for once, there's a piece of good news.
I mean, the damn
No, it's
thing.
just less bad than we expected.
I mean, yeah, I don't think the
Oh
damn
no,
thing.
this is about the best case scenario from what we knew.
I don't think that damn thing healing is good news.
The fact that it could be that wound lasted for at minimum 500 years, that's good news.
He tilts.
Did you? Oh, okay, yes. Costas paused.
Yes, I was pausing to. The old cute tut-tuts. Point is, that's a lot of stuff for to use to make more goddamn lizards too.
Eh, I've still got plenty of stuff on the back burner.
Henry, this wasn't exciting as I was hoping it was going to be. I was hoping there's going to be a giant fucking dragon claw coming out of nowhere trying to swat you to death.
Didn't happen when I literally tried this same ritual on the star itself.
Lame. At that, he just picks up his chair and starts walking out.
Well, at least you have someone new to taunt.
He stops and considers that for a second. He just freezes for a second. You think he might have had a heart attack or something before he just bolts up and just fucking vanishes.
Before he gets out of the range of 100 feet, Sion also whispers in his ear telepathically, and even when the star dies, entropy still exists. There will always be an enemy.
He starts laughing.
Glad Lucine didn't.
So, catch my breath for a second. Sakura just sighs. Ah, sheer amount of things I have to deal with. But most
There is
pressingly,
one other business I.
but no,
And now I believe you wanted to go talk to Alexander.
Sakura's going to snap her fingers here. I can't help but notice something, however. This supposedly this was supposed to what the soul was doing as the body was climbing out of the earth, yes?
Interesting. Yeah, that was a wound on the soul and not the body.
That also means it can, in theory, act in two places at once, depending on the exact mechanics.
Oh, we knew about that already.
She tilts her head. Go on.
Pretty sure it's been fucking stalking us.
Been stalking us since the literal emergence.
Right, you're a bloodline, that would do it.
So yeah, and like it's still in the sky even when it's come down and tried to eat and tried to take the souls of the Ark Dragons we've killed.
I guess so. Did you catch anything about the leader of the cult by any chance?
Just a purple crystal mask and the robes. I
And the
big
attempted
ass
to
scythe.
apply this. Yeah, and a big ass scythe. I attempted to apply this same ritual to the cult a long time ago, but it is in fact possible to ward against this one, and they did. And if the cult itself did, I have no doubt he did too.
Sakura nods. That unfortunate, but makes perfect sense to me.
I wanted to dig into the. If we have some spare time, I want to dig into the library here at that, but I do not know if we will.
It is fine, it's fine. I will be busy. I need to go report this information to Lord Susano. Give me him. Yeah, I will be busy for the next hour or so, I believe.
Yes, and then after that, I believe we should talk to Alexander because I have some stuff I need to get updates on from him.
Sakura just. So where are you going now?
I think we're waiting for Sakura and then talking to Alexander about souls and whatever she needed.
Okay, so yeah, an hour later, Sakura's back out of the Transgender sanctums and let me grab his token. And as the entire party is just hanging out in the shrine. Where the fuck is his token? Give me a second. I will say I have my own thoughts on how White Titan versus the Stygian Star would go.
None of this matters. We do not need to talk about the White Titan mid-session.
I know. I just want to comment that I am planning on talking about that after the session.
Good.
Where the fuck is the shot Rhino Seals? Give me a second. Let's holding cells down here. Alexander walks up. He's carrying his big fucking mobile briefcase. That briefcase in the conspiracy board again.
Oh, you just came here straight from the strength site, I take it?
Yes. Yes, I've managed to get a lot of useful information about it, and talking about it would be pretty useful. But Arata is also there. Arata's actually the one who guided him through. Alexander hasn't been to Underkyoto, so Arata's here as his guide. But yeah. But yes, Alexander Clavison, I have a lot of useful information. I managed to get a lot of very useful information from my examinations of the Arc Dragon Soul. Such a pity that Conquest got eaten. I would have been able to do so much with 2 samples.
The plan is to try and get another one soon.
He nods at that, taking a seat across from Lady Sakura. So, first, I'm not sure how much. I know I told you about some of this machine, but I haven't told you about the new data yet. Not sure how much everyone else in the room knows, so let me just give you a quick little refresher on how draconification affects the soul. This is actually inspired. It's actually inspired by a. This is a really good analogy. I got from actually this is out of character. The analogy I used as a basis for this I actually got from Erie. So thank you for that. It made explaining so much easier. So Alexander claps his hands together as he pulls up one of the layers of the conspiracy board. This one has a bunch of soul data on it. So, if human souls are, well, let's just say soft clay marbles, colored gray, yet to be fired, then Draconiid and other lesser draconic beings, what beings? I'm currently considering drakes as a general catch-all category, less of a mouthful. They have they have dark gray to grayish black souls. The black being the staining of the dragon factor. Now hardened like clay that has been fired. However, their souls were unable to take the stress of the transformation and cracked a little bit. Suffered some form of damage that kept them from becoming full dragons. Everyone following with me so far?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Lady Sakura nods. Okay, good. So, dragons may have souls that are stained black marbles of hardened clay without damage, that stain whatever they touch black, allowing them to spread it to other souls and other life forms. From what I can tell, Arc Dragons build upon this and have both stronger, harder souls, and a way to use this staining as a rush to affect the world around them in a way that reflects their soul, creating their crowning domain, I'd wager. However, not even an Arc Dragon's soul is pure black, he says, waving a finger, when you're smiling like another lunatic. The layers below the surface may be somewhat stained, but the soul still remembers what it was before. This may change with enough time, but from what I can tell that time frame seems to be something on the degree of decades, perhaps. Not basically, to be blunt, if a dragon, if any of them last that long, we're probably already dead.
Scene looks very distinctly at Sakura. Could we what happens if you cut a soul?
Sakura's like souls are um. So Sakura's gonna raise his hand.
No,
Let him
he's not
finish.
looking at Sakura. He's looking at the sword.
Sakura's gonna raise a hand. I believe he has something else to finish to say. Let him finish speaking. Alexander nods. Yes. Everyone in this room knows, so I'm gonna just say this. I've been able to get a couple good looks at your soul, Lucine, and I have a pretty good idea for how bloodlines like you and natural hybrids like Odaheim work. Your souls are checkerboarded, as if gray and black clay were mixed together, yet haven't been fired. I would weigh from what I can tell 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 through he stops for a second. Some blood comparisons will be just from comparisons of how Sion's changed to seas got some more dragon factor in her body, some logical deductions, reviews of your your temporary transformation thingam, of your temporary half dragon form. I would wager that the full transformation awakens the dormant black clay and allows it to spread across the scroll, and lets it spread across the soul. Yet even then, I think the soul would still remember. Tough. I I would need to get my hands on Odaheim's soul to confirm for certain. Or stops for a second. Perhaps on the Scarlet Queen's, but as a direct successful descendant of the Stygian star, I have no fucking idea how the hell her shit works. How her stuff works in the detail. The
So
readings I
if we
got
can
from the
get
Dragon
Odaheim's
Factor were much more alive than the other ones, than the other dragons, than the other ones I've seen. So, than compared to say Strength Dragon Factor. So, I'm not sure.
So, you think it might be possible to actually work on this if we can get Odaheim's soul?
I think yeah, Odaheim's soul being a very important data point, but I think even without a cure might be theoretically possible. We just need to figure out the right method of fixing the damage done and reversing the effects on the soul and the
Well,
body. We have to cover both.
who said it has to be the same body?
Hmm. Perhaps, but first, you had a question for the nice priestess here.
More both of you, really. If we were to say, cut a soul, cut off all the afflicted parts, would it be possible to restore it from that still gray core?
Alexander hums and shrugs for a second before Sakura frowns. I perhaps that
Oh,
sounds
like necrosis.
that sounds extreme.
Surgery.
That sounds extremely risky. Even curing
The
something like
subject.
much more complicated, even curing vampirism. The vampiric torch only attaches itself to a part of the soul, not the entire surface.
I'm just thinking about, because that would be a potential, and I believe your sword might have the ability to help with that.
Well, to be honest, he says, looking to Arata, who looks like he's deep in thought. When Arata was first exposed to the dragon factor, I did attempt to cut the dragon factor off the affected area of his soul, out of him using the sword. The issue is that to my sword, the dragon factor doesn't feel like something ethereal. It feels like I'm trying to cut thin air. If thin air could have blocked my blade.
Yeah, but if the soul's still cuttable, can't you just cut the little bit off?
Potentially, but okay, so the way I hear blade cures vampirism and such is you use it is you apply the sword to the curse, not to the soul itself.
For this, we would have to go for the soul itself.
Exactly. Hence Hence, combined with how much it is affected, I'm not even sure if it's possible.
But what if I... Oh, I have to figure that out first. Lucien is lost deep in thought, thinking.
Alexander frowns and narrows his eyes for clapping Sakura on his shoulder. Ah, Lady Sakura, yes? Would it be an issue if you pass me a copy of Odaheim's medical records? I have a book, the calls books on Lucine and the Scarlet Queen, and I want to see if we can. And I want to see if I can use. And I want to see if I can use that to get some more data I can use to work with. If you wouldn't mind. Sakura just falls silent for a moment, and Carrot slowly gets up. If there is even a I'm not sure if this is possible to help, but if there's even a chance to get her back, then yes, you can have the records. Follow me. At that, the two of them are going to walk out of the room to get the records. And is there
Give
any
her a
objection?
copy of mine in return!
Alexander throws you a thumbs up. Anyways, any objections to me ending off the session here?
Nope.
I'm fine with
Sounds
that.
good.
Or Coast.
Oh, good.
Can we just or I want to check one thing before we end. Are we good to start at the speech thing immediately?
I am going to have you guys do check for last minute prep during the session. That's during next session. So let me do my end of stream
Okay.
stuff. Stream stuff because it has been 2 hours and 30 minutes, which is the average time. Okay. Thank you all to everyone who came tonight to watch Drakopocalypse. We're going to be getting back on. Hopefully, we're getting back onto the normal schedule. Normal schedule this week without any interruptions. For the things that alternate the on Thursday. This should be Lancers, Medica, and everyone else. If it's not, I'm going to be playing more Wuthering Waves.
Oh no. Eerie why?
Yes. Then on Saturday, I will be
Coast,
streaming
finish
more.
your...
Let me talk, please. Then on Saturday, I will be streaming more Punishing Grey Raven. And on Sunday, we'll be picking back up where we left off with Drakopocalypse. Our. The current preset schedule for what I have is on my Twitch channel. Is on my Twitch channel. Is on the Twitter account I made for this, made for my VTubing stuff. It should be on my linked to on my Twitch channel. I'm not really sure how the contact stuff works exactly. I can see it in the description, but I'm not sure if that's just a me thing when I look at the stream. Thank you to everyone who came. Apologies if the session was a bit different from normal. Have a good night, everyone. Rest well. Good night. See you all 2 days from now. 2 days from now. Goodbye. Well, technically tomorrow. Time zone's fucky. Bye.